Hello, everyone, and welcome to Frankenstein's podcast, where it's all about the monster. We are a creature feature podcast about monsters and why we love them. I'm one of your hosts, Joe Praska, and with me, as always, is
your other host, Khalid Hussein.
What's going on, Khalid?
I'm just chilling, doing my thing, being awesome. How about you?
Also chilling, doing my thing, and being awesome too, man. Like, what are the odds?
Honestly, that's crazy. We should go to Vegas or something with odds like that.
I know, right? I know. But yeah, no. I'm doing all right. It's a little late. It's late on a Monday night for me, so I'm a little bit tired. But I'm pretty excited to chat monsters with you, buddy.
Hey, it's always one of the things I look forward to. So I am ready, Freddy.
Same. What you been up to? You got any cool writing updates for us?
Writing updates.
Or home and garden updates with soda streams or whatever. I don't know.
Actually,
I don't know what you do. Oh my god.
You do know what I do. We regularly keep in touch about our lives. I do have something I don't think I've told you about, though.
All right, shoot.
Another friend of mine named Joe, funny enough.
I hate that you have more than one of us.
Yeah, no. I always call him Joe Prime. Take that as you will. But
wow.
It's okay, Beta Joe. So yeah, Joe Prime, a few months ago, he was moving out of LA back to New York, and he gave me like a crazy deal on a bunch of stuff that he just wanted to get rid of. He was like, I mean, I'd rather just like let a friend have it and just get a little bit of money. And I was like, well, I love the little bit of money part. So one thing he gave me was like these awesome tower speakers and a record player and stuff. And it was awesome because like I have records. I like records, but my record player is kind of like a dinky one that doesn't like sound the best. But what sucked was that the receiver that he gave me was like busted. So for months I just didn't have time to like go get it fixed because record player fixers and receiver fixer companies, like, they're not like that prevalent anymore, much to my surprise. And so the one place I could find had like just ridiculous hours. It was like 9 a.m. to like 2 p.m. weekdays only. And I'm just like, who's free then? Like no one. So it took me like 2 months, but I finally went out and got a new receiver, plugged that baby in, and I've just been jamming, man. My roommate and friend of the pod, Eric Kolash, he has like a box of records that this guy just like left outside of his house that say free on them, and like there's some bangers in there. He's got like Wings, he's got a couple of Steve Miller bands, he's got Rolling Stones. And so like we were just like cleaning the house this weekend, and I was just blasting the record player out of my awesome speakers, and they're so loud and like it just sounds so great and it's fun. And so I'm really hype about that. Yeah.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, Khalid. I'm so sorry. Hold on.
Yep.
What's that? Oh, sorry, Khalid. I was just talking to my other friend, Khalid. I call him Khalid 1. And don't worry about it. Don't worry about Khalid 2.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, no, that's crazy. He's there right now. He's just hanging out while you record.
Yep. At 10 p.m. on a Monday night. Yeah, he's just chilling.
That's weird. Is he just quietly sitting in that room, or?
We'll leave that for the imagination, Khalid.
Sure.
Khalid 2, sorry.
Yeah, apology accepted. You know what? That's how it goes sometimes. Two people have the same name, and you just gotta like rank them appropriately.
Joe, that's how it goes.
Beta Joe.
Yeah. Anyway, no, that's exciting. So I heard a couple bangers. You said Wings. You said Steve Miller Band. You said Rolling Stones. So when you say Wings, you say Paul McCartney and Wings, right?
Yes, it's Paul McCartney and Wings, which I don't know if I've ever heard a Wings song unless.
I'm going to give you some of my cool person cred. I've seen 2 of those 3 bands live.
Was it Steve Miller Band?
And Paul McCartney and Wings.
That's awesome. I'm actually like a huge Steve Miller Band fan. They've just got such great hits. And then I just started listening to this Steely Dan Greatest Hits record, and like I know like Dirty Work and a couple of their other songs, but like I didn't realize how many of their songs I knew and just didn't know it was them.
There you go. Yeah, digging into the classics, I guess.
No, it's awesome. I mean, it's
fun.
It's dope. In a lot of ways, like my record collection is the white dad I never had.
It's something special.
yeah, it's really beautiful if you don't think about it too hard.
It truly is, truly is.
But yeah, what's new with you? I mean, I know you've been like really just like a little busy, tired lately, but I hope it's been like good busy, or at least like some good stuff's happening.
I mean, nothing. I mean, nothing like really like, I don't know, exciting pop culturally like your stuff. Like I am just working a lot. Like uh, new school year started. I'm teaching a couple different things than some surprise. I'm sure you know, Khalid, and most of our listeners know there's like a teacher shortage around the country. So I don't want to get too into it, but I have to take on additional roles than I had initially intended this year, and so it's a lot of work, and I have to do a little bit extra learning for compensating for that. So I've been focused a lot on teaching, and so that's a lot, but doing my best, doing my best.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I mean, it's tale as old as time these days when it comes to like how much you guys are getting shafted. But like as always, I and I know a lot of people, especially some of our listeners, appreciate what you do for those kids.
It's nice to hear. It's nice to hear.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah, no, yeah, it's mostly good. I mean, a good group of kids. Beginning of the year, so still getting to know them. But I think once we get in the groove, things will feel a lot better. I just got to get past these first couple weeks. First couple weeks of school are always hardest because you're really establishing like norms and routines with the kids, and it's boring for them sometimes, but it's super important because if you don't do that, the whole year sucks. So I don't know. It's you get through it, and then think once everything starts flowing, it's better. So we'll get there probably next week or something. But I'm ready. I'm ready to be out of this like intro couple weeks. That kind of deal.
Well, tell you what, this isn't much of a consolation, but I did also get an Alice Cooper record in that pile, and School's Out is on it.
There
So
we go. There we go.
next spring, buddy, last day of school for you. Give me a call. I'll FaceTime you with the tower speakers on.
I'm just gonna show up in LA and we'll just play it then.
Yes,
Yeah, I'll just show up
yes. Oh my god.
unannounced.
I'm gonna get you like a cut off like muscle shirt, maybe just as like Def Leppard. It's gonna have like fringes in the midriff area. You're just gonna show belly button out in sunny LA.
Are we all gonna get like perms and stuff?
I mean, I guess I could like get re-perm because I'll probably already be permed by then.
Fair, fair. Yeah, no, we'll just get it and then just we'll do it together also.
I'll do a touch up. I'm sure by then, it's just the heat. The heat kind of messes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna sing a song that's gonna segue us into what we're talking about today. Ready?
Yeah,
It's
let's
the
do
theme
it.
song.
Oh, I love it. Let me hear it.
Ready? It's Simpsons. Meet the Simpsons. They're the modern Stone Age family. Wait, is that the theme?
Is it modern Stone Age family? I mean,
I don't know. That's the Flintstones. What's the actual Simpsons one? I forgot.
what? It's just The Simpsons, and then it's just music. What?
Well, and that's a segue, Khalid. What are we talking about today?
The Flintstones. No, we're talking.
Confusing everybody.
Today we are talking about The Simpsons, and specifically the Treehouse of Horror episodes that we decided were going to show our favorite potentially queer alien duo, Kang and Kodos. So yeah, I'm gonna just run through these four descriptions real quick. Just give me 1 second. And Treehouse of Horror 1. Bart and Lisa try to outdo each other with scary Halloween stories about haunted houses and scary aliens. Treehouse of Horror 7. Bart finds his evil twin in the attic. Lisa becomes God to a race of tiny people, and aliens Kang and Kodos assume the identities of Bill Clinton and Bob Dole. Treehouse of Horror 18. Bart and Lisa help Kodos phone home, but Kodos uses their assistance to secretly plan something sinister. Meanwhile, Marge and Homer pay homage to Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and Flanders decides to scare Bart, Lisa, and their friends straight. And finally, Treehouse of Horror 30. Milhouse is trapped in another dimension, dead Homer's spirit tries some new bodies on for size, and Selma finds love in an unlikely place. Oh.
What a monster.
They're creatures of the abstract that live off potential energy.
It's alive!
Great job, Khalid. That was a mouthful, and you did it.
I did it. Yeah. I mean, I would say it's like there have been some that were just like block paragraphs that like are equal to this or longer and did not need to be. I think is what this proved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have have thoughts on like the general Treehouse of Horror concept. I want to get to that later, but let's just dig into a little bit of the episodes that we specifically watched. So, as Khalid mentioned, folks, we're kind of focusing in on the Treehouse of Horrors because they're one, like in our wheelhouse with the horror bit, but two, we're looking at Kang and Kodos mostly, our the lovable giant octopus alien people. And these episodes that we picked are ones that kind of feature them a little more heavily. There is a connective thread among all Treehouse of Horror episodes where they do one or the other make an appearance in some manner, and I think I don't think there was one that's gone by where they haven't shown up at least in the background somewhere.
Yeah,
But usually,
sometimes like they do like commentary or something.
yeah, usually they're kind of like the bookends where they're kind of like before and after or something, like just saying something or commenting on the episode. But these are ones we chose where they're actually part of the segments. So the first one I think was fun to talk about because it's the Treehouse of Horror 1, and that's like the first appearance of them, and it's the first Treehouse of Horror. So Khalid, I think this one's probably way more fresh on your mind. Did you want to speak to that one a little bit?
Yeah, man. Oh, it was wild watching that one because I mean I grew up on The Simpsons. You know, like a lot of people in our generation, it was just this. I don't know. There's something about, especially like early or like peak Simpsons, where if you were a kid when it came out, like you got so much enjoyment out of it without understanding like half of it, maybe more, to be honest. You know, like there was just something about like the way that the characters were designed, the like zany voices and all of it. It really just was right up there with like any animated show that actually was meant for kids in terms of like what you as a child could sink your teeth into. But like unlike those other shows, which like there's only so many times you can go back to it the older you get, this one's rewatch value just like exponentially grows because like each time you're understanding just a little bit more how brilliant those jokes you absentmindedly laughed at were, you know? So like with this one, with Treehouse of Horror 1, I was so shocked at like how many of these like memories were rushing back to me and how many jokes I just had like no context for, you know? Like I know we're talking about King and Kodos, but like these are basically like little anthological snippets in each one. So like for me, the Shining episode or like the Shining clip that they do is so funny. And then they do the Raven. They do the Raven, the book by Edgar
Oh,
Allan
Edgar Allan
Poe.
Poe, yeah.
Yeah, and they don't just do it. Like they faithfully recreate it in terms of like Homer is, that's the thing is like I'm not gonna just like go jump on the bandwagon of like poo-pooing the later seasons and stuff like that. I really do think it's just a matter of like you can't expect any show to for 30 years maintain the same level of quality. It's literally just impossible for so many variables. But like when they were just like in their prime, you could do something like that. You could make like an irreverent adult animated comedy that just for 10 minutes faithfully recreates Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven, and it's still funny and it's so powerful. And like I was like a 7 or 8 year old kid who had no idea what I was watching, and I had no idea what it was referencing, and I loved it, and I love it even more now, understanding just how like audacious that really was, you know. So like for me, I mean, I like out of the episodes that we chose to watch, like this is it's not even a contest. Like this one by and far just crushes it. It's so good. Have you like when's the last time you saw it?
This episode,
Yeah.
I it's been a while, but I distinctly remember this episode because this is the one that I would say always sticks out in my mind when I think of Treehouse of Horror. Like that pose, that nevermore, like Bart the
Yeah.
Raven.
I
Yeah,
love
I
that.
always remember that. Yeah, and then like the Shining bit. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's hard to beat because it's what started it all. It's like what it's the original, and the King and Kodos bit too, where it's not clear that they're even villains, right? At the end, like they're like, we were just going to take you to this wonderful place, right?
Right. It's supposed to be like this whole joke, which like I loved. I thought it was so funny of like they're like fattening up the Simpsons on their spaceship. Like they
They think
just
they're going to eat them.
abducted him, and like all the gags are so great. Like when they're like sucking them all up in the beam up to the saucer, and then like they try to pick up like Homer, and then they have to do like a secondary beam to pick him up too because he's too heavy. Like I don't know, man. Like I don't for somehow like fat jokes like usually rub me the wrong way, but like when they like make Homer so cartoonishly fat, but like his proportions don't like suggest that, it's just even funnier. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
they've
please.
made they and like I'm a big boy, you know, like for those of you who only know me by voice, like I'm a bigger boy and I've like most of my life I have been. So like I feel like I somehow just have blinders to like if it is just like fat phobic what they do with Homer, because like it's always so funny to me because it's like it's not just that he's fat, it's like he's like a bigger guy but he's dense. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
always just like make a point of like being like, no, he's like exceptionally dense is the problem.
Yeah, because like you said, he doesn't look that big.
No,
Like
like
just
Wiggum's
regular
bigger,
dude.
like so many people on it are bigger than him, you know, like Fat Tony, comic book guy, like they make bigger guys than him, but like they always go back to like Homer is like supernaturally overweight or something. Where
Super heavy somehow.
exactly, yeah, and it's like this thing that just like defies physics and stuff. I remember there was this episode where he goes to a doctor for like a physical, and like they do this test where like they're trying to. When I was a kid, I just took it for granted that it was a real test, but it's like a jiggle test. And like the whole thing is like I guess like they're trying to like gauge how fat he is by like tapping his stomach and seeing how long it takes for jiggling to stop. And it doesn't. It just keeps going. And then like I remember being a kid and like checking my stomach like that was like a real thing.
I'm picturing that. That's great.
It's so good. But yeah, so like the Kang and Kodos, like this is the introduction to Kang and Kodos, right? And
Yep.
I forgot. There's a third guy. Do you remember that?
Oh, that's right.
What's
What was the third guy?
That's the thing. They go through the trouble of saying like, so like Kang and Kodos introduce themselves to the Simpsons on the spaceship, and then like the third guy comes out, and they're like, "What's your name?" And he goes, "I would have to like rip out your tongue or something just to like
Oh, yeah.
just to like be able to say it." And I'm like, "Oh, that's a funny joke." And then later they like Kodos just says it, like he just says the dude's name. I forget it offhand, but like I was just like, "What the hell?"
Did they
But
like
like
forget?
wait, did they forget? What do you mean?
Yeah. Did they just like
No,
oh
like the
just part
writers?
of it?
No, I
Yeah.
really do. Like the thing is, like you can't forget something like that. You know what I mean? It's only a
True.
20-page script. Like it goes through so many eyes. Like I really do think it's just like a thing where like it's just like a throwaway joke of like, no, he actually just had a very pronounceable name. Um, but yeah, the gist of it is basically like they get abducted by aliens. The aliens tell them they want to take them back to their home planet of Rigel 6, and then like they just start giving them like this like bountiful feast, right? And it's like all these like they're saying all these like sinister things and like chuckling as they eat, and like it's very heavily implied that they're going to eat the Simpsons. And eventually like Lisa, who's supposed to be the smartest of them, but it still takes her like 5 minutes of the story to like do anything about it, starts like going around and she finds a cookbook that says how to cook humans, and she takes it back to the family and shows it to them, and they like confront the aliens and they're like, you guys were gonna eat us, we found this book. And he's like, what? Oh no, that's a misunderstanding, there's some dust on the cover. And he like blows off the dust and it just says how to cook for humans. And then she's like, wait, there's even more dust, and she blows on it and it says how to cook 40 humans. And he's like, a little more dust, and then he blows on it and it says how to cook for 40 humans. And it's just such a dumb gag, and like I remembered it as soon as they started doing it where it went, and it still was so funny to me. And then like the joke then is like that they're so insulted that like they were like, we brought you on our spaceship, we were trying to show you a good time, they're like, then why did you feed us so much? It's like, what? You guys wouldn't stop eating, you're still eating. It's like you it was gross, we thought it was gross how much you ate, but we don't know humans. And it's like it's such a funny like comedy of errors type thing that like really in like a snippet form you just get like the big jokes and you get out. And it was such a great intro to Kang and Kodos.
Agreed. Yeah. No, it's a good. Although they like definitely take on a more sinister like personas in the future Treehouse of Horrors, right? Like it's implied that they're just trying to be nice there, but they definitely change it. But that's kind of the beauty with the Treehouse of Horror episodes is there's like no semblance of canon whatsoever. You know, like it's like a very free creative sandbox for a lot of the writers to play in. They could just make a story, choose something they want to parody, something they want to pay homage to, and just do it. They just have to kind of fit it within that smaller time constraint than a normal episode. So they could kind of do whatever they want, right?
Yeah, I mean it's fun, but like one time when I was a kid, there was a Treehouse of Horror episode that like, do you remember the virtual reality one where they're like 3D?
Oh
Like
yeah, that was like a big deal at the time,
Bart or
wasn't
somebody
it?
finds like a portal. Yeah, it was a big
Yeah.
deal because like so like back then, for anybody who isn't as old as me and Joe, there was no like streaming or even TiVo or anything, DVR. Like if you were like a psychopath, you would like record stuff on a VCR or
I did that.
something. Yeah, like yeah, psychopath.
Yeah.
So if you didn't have any of that, you were just kind of at the mercy of whenever you would watch an episode and then like just see the next episode, especially if it was a rerun. So with that episode, I don't know if you remember, but they end up in that virtual 3D reality world or whatever, which was super cool. And like the action and stuff like that was like captivating. But at the very end of it, Homer ends up getting like spit out the other side of the virtual reality into our world, like the human world. And he's just like nervously walking down a street that like looks like it was like taken from like B-roll of Seinfeld or something, and it
Yeah.
says be continued and ends. So I'm a little kid, I have no concept of like standalone episodes or anything like that, or like how that's supposed to be the point of the joke. So like maybe for a good like year or two, I just kept watching reruns of The Simpsons, hoping that I would finally see what Homer did in the real world before at some point I just realized, oh, that was the joke.
Oh damn, that must have been disappointing.
It was very disappointing, and
Oh wow.
I just rewatching these episodes, it just like all came rushing back to me, like how I would just like I might have watched like more Simpsons because of it. You know
Just
what I
because of that.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that's just like that was just like one of those things where it's like I do love that it's like a standalone deviation and like they get to like
Yeah.
just like break all the rules, like anybody's up for game for dying and it's like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, that one really got my goat.
Yeah, it's a good one. I would say that the next one we're going to talk about, the 7, is probably my favorite of the Kang and Kodos episodes. So it's one that's always stuck with me too, and that's that one has the 3 segments too. But the Kang and Kodos bit is the Citizen Kang, and you watched this one too, right?
I did, yes.
Yeah, so it's the one where they abduct the presidential candidates that year. So I want to say, what was it, 90? I don't know,
Well, this
8.
came out in '96.
96, so it's coming up. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes more sense given the presidential election years. But
Right.
yeah, Bob Dole and Clinton, they abduct them and then like take over their bodies and in an attempt to take over the world. It's very funny because it's just so many things like the way Clinton. I laughed every
Bill
time.
Clinton.
Or abortions for all. Boo. No abortions for anyone. Boo. Okay, abortions for some, many American flags for others. Yay. Like it's so like stupidly biting, but also perfect, you know?
They got us. They
They
got us
got us.
good.
Or
Oh man.
the two party thing. Well, like, we'll just vote third party. No, you
That to
won't.
me that to me
Yeah.
might be the best joke.
Yeah.
Like the
Go
best.
ahead, throw your vote away.
I won't say it's the best Simpsons joke because that is such a like loaded thing to say, but it
Yeah.
is, for my money, the best political jokes the Simpsons have ever
Oh,
done.
100%. 100%.
And they've done a lot of really good political jokes, but that just takes the cake, man. Like just when they're sitting there and like they get exposed as aliens, because like yeah, basically like they wear like fake like Bob Dole and Bill Clinton suits, and like they trap the real Bill Clinton and Bob Dole in their spaceship, and so they're running for president as them, and then they get exposed at the end, and everybody's just like, well, we're just not going to vote for you. And he's just like, well, we're the Republican and Democratic candidate. What are you going to do? Vote for a third party? And the groans of everyone in the crowd is so brilliant. And just like that cutscene to like like a Planet of the Apes style enslaved planet of humans, just like building a giant, what was it, like a laser beam or something?
Yeah.
and then Marge like complains about the whole thing, and Homer has like the best closing joke of the whole episode. He's just like,
Yeah.
he's like, don't look at me. I voted for Kodos. Which,
Yeah, so good.
what more do you need to say? You know, like what a mic drop of an episode. That is, I am 100% on your side about that. Like Kang Kodos, as far as like appearances go, that is the highest of
Top tier.
watermarks.
Yeah,
So good, the gold standard. Such a good episode.
so funny.
What did you think of the other episodes or the other stories in it? Because I think it's my favorite episode for that, but also for the other two just being so like zany and off the wall.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
no, it's really solid. The Bart evil twin one is fun. It's the Hugo, right?
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of good bits. I like how the doctor just shows up too. Like Dr. Herbert? What was his name
Yeah,
again?
he's supposed to be kind of
Yeah.
like the doctor in Halloween, right?
Yeah, like Loomis.
Yeah.
Yeah, Loomis. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
supposed to be kind of
That's
like
kind of what I got
him.
from it. Yeah.
My favorite bit in that is when he's like going up to the attic to like try and like pacify Hugo, and he starts talking to him, and he's like, "It must have been so long since you were up here. When was the last time you even saw your reflection?" And he picks up this like empty picture frame. And he holds it up, and Hugo looks into it, and all he sees is Dr. Hibbert before he gets punched in the face.
Just punches. Yeah, just
Just,
punches him through the frame.
just decks a 10-year-old boy. Like, and he's just talking about like I love the like it's not even like it would be too much to call it pseudoscience what he's doing in that episode. Like he just like kind of like casually and authoritatively tells you about like how like clearly when there's like an evil twin you have to do something about it, and they're always on the left, and it's just like, what are you saying right now?
Yeah, they just run with it. Yeah,
They just run with it. Like, oh my god, so many great little jokes in that.
yeah,
The fish heads, I remember the fish heads from when I was
yeah.
a kid. It was so gross. When he says he successfully like stitched together a pigeon and a rat, and then you see that the pigeon can't fly out the window and the rat can't fit in a mouse hole anymore.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
good. Oh,
yeah.
and then the one where Lisa she has like a toothache or something. Or no,
Yep. No,
she
she
has a
she
tooth.
loses a tooth. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
she puts in a little a petri dish to just see like what grows, and basically grows like a culture or a whole like society of like like living creatures from her tooth.
But it's how the society was created that's so
Yeah.
fucking dumb. Is static electricity. Bart just like walks in with a balloon stuck to his head and keeps like tasering her with like static like touches,
Yeah.
and then like is it that she touches the tooth with like the
Yeah. She
static?
touches the tooth after that. Yeah.
Which, oh my god, that like I love how like it's like so like we give the early Simpsons writers like so much credit for being brilliant, and half the time it's just that like they didn't hold anything precious. Like it really was just like whatever the dumbest reason is to like get us into the story we want to tell, just go for it. You
Yeah.
know, like it's I feel like that's like a big thing with like writing that like stops me up even at times as a writer is like I'm trying so hard to like make something credibly happen that like it feels like it belabors like the thing that I'm actually trying to get to, that makes me excited in the story. And like it's such a good like lesson to rewatch these episodes and understand like the catalyst only matters so much. Like it's like if the story is good, it's good. So yeah, I mean, props to them because that one was also good. And
Oh, exactly. And honestly, like that episode, that whole like the whole three segments, just I feel like it like just demonstrates what I really love about these, like specifically these Treehouse of Horror. And I'm with you, Kalita. I didn't really say much about it earlier, but I grew up on The Simpsons too. Like it's formative for me. And but being a young like also horror fan, like these episodes every time they come every year, I absolutely look forward to I absolutely look forward to them like every year. I was so excited whenever there's a Treehouse of Horror episode or they just play the reruns of some. But like this one, I feel like shows specifically better than some of the later ones that we watched. Like how the writers how the writers in the format itself like drew influence from such a wide array of like properties from film and like television literature that make them so like fun to watch. Like the format of the whole thing, I think, I'm not sure if you knew, this is kind of inspired by like horror comics from like the 1950s, and the segments within those like are definitely often parodies of like classic movies or classic books. Like we got Poe, we got The Shining, like you mentioned, and then there's like other ones. But the one thing that I feel like, I don't know if you mentioned this earlier, but like the segments themselves also sort of like mirror like Twilight Zone, right? I feel like that's one of the biggest influences, like these short segments of like
Oh
a story
yeah.
with like a morality play. I mean, granted, like this is like humorous and silly and like parody of morality plays, but it's doing that Twilight Zone thing, like in its own way. It's just,
Well, no,
I
they
mean, it really
definitely
wasn't anything else like it at the time. There wasn't really anything else like it at the time, I think.
no, totally. And the Twilight Zone comparisons are apt, especially like those first few seasons. Like
Yeah.
they were every time a Treehouse of Horror came out, like it was like Marge for the first couple would like come out in front of a curtain somewhere, and she would
Yeah.
like tell you like the stories you're about to hear are like really terrifying and don't like let your kids see it. And then like there was one I accidentally started because again Roman numerals are hard, people. So I may have accidentally watched one or two Treehouse of Horrors I shouldn't have for a little bit. But there's one where like there's like a standards and practices guy that's like talking about a bunch of like stuff that he has to like cross out of a Simpsons script that's like too evil and it's like gonna be a G rating and stuff. And then like you see a G rating on the screen and like all of a sudden like an arm with a machete comes out of the G rating and just starts like stabbing the standards and practices guy. So like yeah, they do that like Rod Stewart like creepy intro thing into the story thing pretty much every Treehouse of Horror.
And also, like Kang and Kodos themselves are kind of like the Rod Serling characters
Rod
sometimes at the
Sterling.
end.
Did I
Like,
say Rod Stewart like 3 times?
did you say Rod Stewart?
I think I did.
You might have. It's Rod Sterling,
All
Khalid.
right. Well, sorry, Rod Stewart. I thought
Yeah,
you were cooler than that.
Come on and at Khalid for that one, everybody.
Who's Rod Stewart?
But he's a singer.
Oh, he wasn't in the record box. What am I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, King and Kodos definitely portray fill that void sometimes too, where they're like coming at the end or come at the beginning and just like comment on the episode too. So it's fun to see.
It's super fun to see. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about the. We also chose number 18. Was it that had the sort of the ET parody in it?
Yes, 18. We both know that for sure.
XVI.
Yeah, no, that's what I see right here. 18. This one was good. It was great. Sorry, not great. It was good. It was fine.
Not great, not great.
I just said that like out of habit, and then I was like, no, I don't mean that. The King and Kodo story of this one is kind of funny. It's a ET parody, which I liked it because basically I feel like whoever wrote that specific segment or like whoever pitched that specific segment saw ET and had the same reaction I did of like, this thing means us harm. I don't care what you say. Are you looking at what I'm looking at? This thing is a monster and it's going to hurt us all. And so like the parody is basically Kodos comes down to Earth and is like hiding in the Simpsons shed, and Bart finds him and he wants to make him his friend, and Kodos like starts asking him to like get a few things, and he's like, yes, to phone home, please get this list of things. And he ends up enlisting Lisa and Bart to do it, and it's like his list has like uranium and 7 billion body bags. And they like get it all for him somehow. And it's like he finally like puts this like device together, but then like Homer realizes what he's up to, and he basically just like what was Schwarzenegger's name in Predator again? It was Dutch, right?
Dutch.
Yeah,
yep,
he
Dutch.
basically goes full Dutch on a bunch of like Kodos's like alien people or whatever, and just like wipes them out with the help of like the feds and stuff, and it's like super funny. I liked that one again because it is what like I almost wish that was the real ET we all saw in a lot of ways. But the other ones, so like you were saying, like the Treehouse of Horrors, like the kind of like pull from like pop culture, so it's like movies and stuff like that, and it's like at some point like it just, I feel like the Simpsons stopped kind of like defining a culture or like becoming like emblematic of a culture and just started reacting to it, if that makes sense. And
yep, exactly. Yeah.
and so like they do a Mr. and Mrs. Smith parody where like Homer and Marge are secretly assassins and neither of them know it, and eventually like they just do like the scene where like they're fighting in the house, you know, in the movie. They just do that in the Simpsons house, and it's supposed to be like, I don't know, like for me it's just like, what the hell is Halloween about this, you know? Like
yeah no, I totally feel that. I felt I couldn't really put into words as well as you had, where it feels like they're not really like defining, but more reacting at this point. And I feel like the parodies were a little more balanced too. Like I mentioned, like the parodies and homage to like other things are fun, but they also did like a mix of their own like unique storylines that may have like kind of had similarities to the storylines, but they're all kind of like their own things sometimes. But I feel like the newer ones tend to almost always be a parody of something, the
So
Treehouse of Horrors.
So what's nuts about it is that this episode with the Mr. and Mrs. Smith parody came out in 2007. Do you know when Mr. and Mrs. Smith came out, Joe? Like off the top of
No.
your head? I have it up here.
Okay, give it to me.
2005.
Huh.
That is
It's like 2 years.
That's too soon, right? That's not me. That's not just me. That's too soon, right?
Yeah.
Like especially when you like realize like what an animation schedule is like especially back then, like it took them like over a year to make like a season of animated television, right? So say Mr. and Mrs. Smith came out in 2005, like maybe a year later, if we're being generous, a guy was like, you guys are not going to believe what I just saw. Like, we gotta do this movie.
We gotta do this.
And it's like, why? Like E.T. makes sense. Like the Raven, like I love it. That's awesome. That's so cool. But even The Shining makes sense. You know what I mean? Like these things have had enough time like percolating in like the public consciousness that like when you do a send up of it, people can appreciate it. Like first of all, Mr. and Mrs. Smith is basically just like a weird like parody, like satirical on its face thing. You know what I mean? Like how do you like do a send up of a send up? Yeah. And again, the movie had just like I remember even when I saw it, I was like, really? We're doing this? Okay. So I could go on, and it would probably be just more like flavors of the same complaint, so I won't. But it's baffling. I will say though, my favorite joke was actually in the Kang and Kodos segment of this. It was so funny. So like, it's just Kodos on the planet. He's supposed to be like the ET type guy, right? And then eventually Kang comes down at the end and like links up with him. And he's like, I swear, I've been thinking about this joke for like 2 or 3 days. It's so funny. He comes down and he goes, "Sorry, I was at the other Earth where where the South won the Civil War. They have a lot less Confederate statues."
That's pretty good, yeah.
That is so funny. Like that is so funny. Like it's just like a world where the South won and they're just like really humble about it. It's like what do we gotta rub their faces in it for? We already won, right? Just like such a great throwaway joke that like if I hadn't rewatched this time, I don't know that I ever would have again. So like I'm just so glad I caught it this time because it's just like it just snuck it in there and it aged like a fine wine.
Like a fine wine. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then Joe, why don't you tell us about the last episode?
The last one that we kind of chose for this the purposes of this podcast, I should say, is the Treehouse of Horror 30 XXX from season 31. It's actually the 666th episode of The Simpsons, which is kind of exciting. They planned that really well. But it's the first Treehouse of Horror to come out since the Disney acquisition.
Oh, is that true? I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
Yeah, that was the first one since that happened. So that was
so that Mickey Mouse joke. I thought it was like just like they were just taking shots at Disney, but that makes even more sense now.
That's why they did that. So so that one has the Kang and Kodos segments is When Harry Met Slimy. It's a Shape of Water parody. They also had the opening thing was like an Omen parody. They had a Stranger Things one, and then the other one that I remember quite a bit is the Heaven Can Wait parody, which I'm not 100% sure how I feel about. Like it was kind of funny, but that was it was a very
is it a Heaven? Is that what the movie they were parodying is?
Yeah, Heaven Can Wait. Yeah.
The whole time I was watching it, I was just like, why are they doing Chris Rock's like what's it, Down to Earth or something? Like
I think that was a remake of Heaven Can Wait, wasn't it?
Okay, so like the whole time I was watching it, I was just like, who in the writers' room like saw that
the Chris Rock
that bad movie?
Yeah,
it was like, people are gonna love us making fun of it.
Yeah, I don't don't know. Like people will maybe disagree with me. I don't know. Heaven Can Wait is, I guess, by a classic considered by some. It doesn't really feel very Halloweeny to me either, though. Like it's sort of got ghosts involved in a sense, or like the afterlife. But
It's
I've never
more
thought of that
Halloweeny than
movie.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith,
It
though.
absolutely is. You're right about that. But it's like I still feel it's teetering on that edge where it's like I don't know.
I mean,
Like
I think they
it
find a way to
works.
make it
It
Halloweeny
works.
with this.
It works because like it fits with that like go out there and do something that completely can't work with canon because it just becomes a body switching thing by the end of it,
Right.
Yeah, it's silly, it's fine. Yeah, I don't love it. I didn't love this whole episode overall. It was fine. The when Harry met Slimy, so the Kang and Kodos, I think it was just Kang actually. The whole thing is like Selma, so one of Marge's twin sisters, falls in love with Kang in a Shape of Water style parody.
Oh yeah,
So yeah,
they have the lady who's like mute, and then at some point she's just like, "I'm
yeah.
not mute. I just don't want to talk to you."
I just want to talk to you. Yeah, that was kind of funny. There wasn't really many jokes that really stood out to me. I kind of laughed when she tries to call Homer for like help escaping, and she's like, "What if I told you I'm about to leave this world and never return again?" And he's just suddenly there. Yes, that was kind of funny. But I don't know. I think this one really demonstrates what you're saying again about like it's like reacting to culture. It just wasn't. It wasn't doing much for me, and I didn't want to like pile on the new Simpsons like you were saying. Also, like that doesn't feel fair.
They have good episodes
Yeah,
in the later
they do have good
era.
episodes.
Like,
Yeah, it wasn't great.
it
I
really,
like
yeah.
I like the idea. Like like parodying Shape of Water seems like a fun that seems like a fun Halloween premise, but it was just fine. It was fine is all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? Like they're not all
Yeah.
going to be like just like out of the park homers. So for me though, it's
Yeah.
just like
Homer.
yeah. Thank you.
Park
I was,
Homer.
I was trying to casually slide that in. I
It
thought
was
you
pretty
might have
good. That's
missed it.
pretty good.
Thank you.
That's pretty good.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's just like for me, I think it's like I just kind of get bummed that it can't be as good as it was. Less like and not like I don't know. I feel like there's like this like internet instinct to like get mad at people for not somehow being able to maintain what is like undoubtedly an example of lightning in a bottle for decades. I don't really like hold any resentment against the show for not being able to like maintain what was already like just like unseen of heights. Like
Yeah.
They like whether you're a fan of The Simpsons or not, which weird if you're not, but like they just like laid the groundwork for like a whole world of adult animation that maybe would not be able to like exist, at least in the way it does now. It's like you don't get South Park, you don't get BoJack, you don't get a lot of these like shows that have also like gone on for like great runs compared to a lot of TV in this TV landscape, no less. You don't get all that. Bob's Burgers, also Bob's Burgers, which I'm a fan of. So, like, I love it for that reason alone. And like for me, it's like what, like, just by basically like creating like a new genre of like amazing TV, you're allowed to just run for as long as you feel like it. I do not hold that against you.
For sure. I think that's fair. I think that's a great way to put it. Yeah. I think that everyone listening can kind of notice that we went from like very, very excited to like quite a bit less excited as we talked about those 4 episodes in progression. But shall we monster it up and dig into the creatures in question?
Let's monster, buddy.
Yeah. So we're talking about Kang and Kodos, as y'all know. I got some facts for you. We learn in one episode that their last name is Johnson, Kang and Kodos Johnson. Did you know that?
I didn't. I don't even remember that as a joke. Which episode?
But they're voiced by so Kang and Kodos are voiced by Harry Shearer and Dan Castellaneta, respectively. They are large green octopus-like aliens wearing space helmets who are constantly drooling from the planet Rigel 7. The two are established to be female, even though it's in question, and they are determined to be a lesbian couple, as from the Simpsons Futurama crossover episode Simpsorama, which I watched in 2014. I watched that one actually yesterday again, just to kind of rewatch for this. But that one, it's like a time travel plot where the Futurama cast comes back to stop someone in the Simpsons family from creating these like goblin rabbit hybrids that overrun the future. And it's silly. It's actually pretty fun. That was a fun episode. It was kind of to celebrate Futurama coming back.
Uh,
But
I was
yeah,
gonna
but
say because like in Futurama, they have like at one point it was like canonical that The Simpsons was just a show that like existed because like they're at like
yeah,
some like landfill or oh no, it was the garbage ball. Like
yeah.
when this ball of garbage is like about to destroy Earth, and
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
yeah, they're on the ball and they see like a bunch of Bart Simpson dolls.
Yeah, no, it's they play fast and with canon here, like it's fine. But ultimately there's like an end tag where Kang and Kodos are dinner guests to the Emperor of like Omicron Persei 8, those guys.
Oh
Yeah, those
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
It's like just a
Lur,
brief.
is it Lur or
Yeah, Lure. It was like a brief cameo, but they're like he says something about like will the female one of you go comfort my wife or something, and then they both just kind of look at each other and then like slither over to her. So like the implication is they're both female, and the implication of that scene was that they're a couple as well. So
we gotta
yeah.
do Futurama one of these days, man.
I know. I was actually thinking about it of like is it Matt Groening or Groening?
I think it's groaning because
How you
like
say it?
well yeah because like whenever they do all like the Halloween episodes they always do like fake
Oh
names,
yeah,
and like
Groaning.
yeah, so it's like Chains Hell Brooks and Matt like Bat Groaning,
Yeah.
so
So Matt Groening. It's interesting that on our Monster podcast of Matt Groening's properties, we've done The Simpsons, where like Futurama and even Disenchanted. Is it Disenchanted? Is that what it's called?
yeah.
Yeah, arguably have way more monstery stuff than these, but I think Kang and Kodos are classics. Got to do this
No,
for
that's
sure.
the thing is like I just have like a soft spot in my heart for them, and like any
Yeah.
excuse to talk about them is great, and also it's just like a backdoor get to gush about The Simpsons.
For sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, the two characters pretty much appear exclusively in the Treehouse of Terror episodes, save for like a few other brief appearance. So I think people have actually debated like whether or not they truly exist in the universe, which is silly to debate. Whatever. But
No,
anyway,
at one point they do like an
they do.
episode, right? Or were you about to get into it?
There is like I think one or two like legit episodes where they do appear in, and they're also often like antagonists in the Simpsons games too. So they appear outside of Treehouse of Horror. So I think it's fair to say that they exist.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
I remember not like loving the episode where like
No.
it's like a non-treehouse episode they show up in, and it's like, oh wow, aliens exist, and like their minds are blown.
Yeah.
But I thought it was still like just like a cool like go for it kind of a thing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah. So the characters themselves were actually created by the writing partners Wallace Wolodarski and Jay Kogan. The design was then actually loosely based off these two green aliens with tentacles and a single eye from the cover of an old Weird Science comic book, which was
Ooh.
this like pulpy sci-fi comic series from EC Comics back in the 1950s. So the other cool thing, and this is what I'm most excited to share, Khalid.
Ooh.
This is from an interview in comic book resources or CBR. I'll link
Isn't
it.
it Comic Book Reader or something?
I don't remember what it is.
No.
I don't know. I don't. CBR is what I see it as. It says so. The aliens were actually inspired by two aliens from Star Trek: The Original Series. The names. So yeah, this is great. So the Klingon is Kang the Klingon in the original series, who actually appears in later shows too, and Kodos the Executioner, which is another memorable villain in the original series. So they took the names from Star Trek to make these aliens.
So they're both Klingons, Kang and Kodos.
No,
the ones they're based on. I mean,
Kang is a Klingon. Kodos the Executioner is someone else. No, he's not a Klingon, but another kind of alien.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang, that is cool. I mean,
So-
it just shows the reach that Star Trek has.
Yeah, that's
I think-
pretty exciting.
I think it's why I'm the biggest Star Trek fan on this podcast.
It makes sense, right? Because all that Simpsons you
it was
watched.
so The Simpsons is so like formative for me, and so was Star Trek, and that's why I never stopped talking about it.
Yeah, I relate.
No, yeah. I would say for me, like one of my favorite like recurring gags is the fact that they have like the shield or whatever, like the helmet,
Yeah.
but like it's purely ornamental or decorative.
Yep.
like they're like in the first episode that they appear in, like at one point, like when the Simpsons insult them by accusing them of like trying to eat them, the one whose name you can't like say, he just starts crying and he's like dabbing the shield or like the helmet with like a tissue. while he's tearing up inside of the helmet, and
Yep.
and then like I think it was in the ET one. At one point, like Kang just like opens like a never before seen like mouth like partition. It's and it just for me it was like one of those jokes that like actually works even better in retrospect, just because like in a post pandemic world, like we've seen like you know how like when we were like in the thick of it in the pandemic, like there were all these people that were like desperately trying to figure out a way to wear a mask without wearing a mask, and like there was like people that had like straw holes in the
Oh
mask, and
yeah,
like
yeah.
that weird like it's like that it's almost like a backpack helmet, you know, where it's like a giant like glass shield over you so that you could like walk around and talk, and you're just supposed to like look like half of a like Halo soldier, like a Spartan or something. It just like it really worked on that level of like if you think of it as like pandemic era masks, like it's purely for show when it comes to some people.
It's got that energy.
Yeah, so that's always
Yeah.
been like design wise, like that's always been one of my favorite little like touches of theirs. And then you touched on it with the drool, but like for me, even more than like the drool you see coming out of their mouth, it's like that like perpetual salivation noise
Yeah.
that like whenever they're around, it's so just like clear in my mind even now. Every time like I can't imagine them without hearing it. That's how effective.
That is great. Yeah. They actually the original like creators of the characters, they talked about the perpetual drooling thing, and Matt Groening was actually he actually said let's tone that down because it's going to be like a bitch to animate. But the animators actually said no, we're up for the challenge, let's do it. So they stuck with it.
Oh, that's I love stories like that when it's just like you know because like it's so easy to just want to like believe that like everything is like this auteur driven thing, but then what's really great is like when you hear a story about how like everybody is just like trying their damnedest and like trying to like
Yeah.
make something even more like awesome in one way or another. So like hearing that like the animators push back and were like give us more work, I respect it.
Yeah, same. Speaking of pushing back and asking for more work, Khalid,
Yeah.
sometimes bears do that.
So you're just checked out is what I'm getting from that.
No, I thought that was a pretty good one. So
Really?
Mhm. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? No, it's this one's already running long. I think the real ones at home listening understand my umbrage with this.
Nah, no. That's a segue to the four bears test, Khalid.
Yeah. For those of you who are listening for the first time, the four bears test is kind of what it sounds like. I just ask a dumb little question. What happens if you take the monsters that we are discussing and replace them with four bears? Does the story stay the same? Does it change? It's a dumb question, but I ask it, and you guys are listening, so here you go. Um,
Really owned that one.
yeah, no, you're not the only one that can phone it in. Um, yeah, I don't know. This one because like I feel like their power levels are so dependent on whatever story they're in. Where like sometimes Homer just like can just like wipe out an entire like race of them, and then other times they're just like going to enslave the planet. So it's a little less consistent, but for the sake of the test, I think it's a clear fail just because like let's just start at the top. Bears can't talk. They also cannot operate spaceships. They're also not animated, but I guess if you wanted to do like four animated bears, like I don't know. I mean, it is one of those things where like we are talking about the Simpsons world, and animals have been shown to have like an acutely high intelligence quotient next to like real life animals. You know, like for the sake of a joke or whatever, like an animal will just like basically be a person for a couple of minutes at times. You know. So I'm thinking of like the monkey that Krusty has, who like smokes cigarettes and like does his taxes or something, you know. Or even closer to home, Santa's Little Helper and Snowball 3, I think. So if you go that route and you're talking about the Bears just somehow, for whatever reason, being as smart as King and Kodos, I think it passes then. You know what I mean? Just in terms of like, what limitations are there in like a world like the Simpsons? Like if you say a bear is like gonna take over the world, like at that point, it's just like, okay, will I laugh a bunch? So I don't know. It's kind of a wash. Like I'm a little conflicted on this one. Like it's hard to be definitively like, no, it doesn't work, or yes, it does. I think I'm gonna respectfully abstain. I'm out of my element on this one. I'm a little uneasy now that I think about it. Joe, can you help me out here? Can you throw me a life raft? Like, do you have any thoughts on this?
No.
All right, there you have it, folks. Put my heart on a sleeve. Really, really stuck my neck out there with that one. And lesson learned: never again.
Yeah, that's your thing, Khalid.
God damn.
But I do want to say, speaking of putting your heart on their sleeve, Khalid, would you fight or would you flirt with Kang and Kodos?
Oh man,
that was a good one though.
That was a good one. Come on, man, it's Kang and Kodos. I'm flirting.
You gotta flirt. Yeah, I'm with you. You gotta flirt.
Oh, you're with me now.
You gotta flirt.
You
yeah.
have a take on this one. Okay.
No, I'll take this one. Yeah, this one. Yeah, I mean, it's like you open yourself to being a polygamist, though.
I'm so okay with that.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
I think it's for Kang and Kodos for sure.
I would absolutely join a polycule with Kang and Kodos. Like the conversations alone, and it's like you're never gonna get bored of either of them. But even so, like if you feel like maybe you're just like hanging around one too long, you go to the other one, you get on a whole other set of adventures. Yeah, and I really weird to say, but like if I got like an alien disguise or something, I'd be curious to check out that like the Earth where the Confederacy one, like just to check it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just see, like, is it that much worse? Like, I mean, are we that better off right here? No, I'm just kidding. I think we are better off.
Like, where are you going with this?
But no, like, yeah, I would love to just go on like crazy space adventures with them, and it's like you're in the Simpsons universe. You know what I mean? So like, if like what are those other planets like? And I know that point you're basically just talking about Futurama, but I'd like to think that in this imagined scenario, they have like things that I wouldn't expect. So yeah, it is a decisive flirt for a million reasons that I haven't even begun to list because Kang and Kodos are the shit.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was fun. That was a fun excuse to gush about the Simpsons, I guess.
That really was. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite Simpsons character? I forgot to ask.
A character, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough. Oof.
I mean, you don't have to say a favorite character, but like one that like you can just like always like reliably like, what's that? Sorry, excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Just like one that like reliably like gets you every time. Like, I mean, obviously not like every season, all 30 years or whatever.
Oh, probably Groundskeeper Willie then.
Groundskeeper Willie.
Yeah, he's so funny.
Man, I realized after the fact we should have done the one where Groundskeeper Willie is
Freddy Krueger.
But
yeah,
I don't think
so
Kang
good.
and Kodos are that heavy in it. Right?
No, but that's a great one.
That's a great one. Oh man, I love when Bart and Homer are like stealing grease around town. And they try to steal it from the school, and Homer and Willie end up in like a greased up like topless brawl in the vents. So funny. I will say my favorite, or maybe just like always reliably just like saying and doing just like the wildest stuff that I can get behind is Mo, the bartender.
Mo is great too. Yeah, I was thinking Mo at first too, a little bit. Yeah,
he's just great. So good. Like the boxing episode when he's like Homer's like he's Homer's like boxing coach and supposed to be like he's like Mickey in the Rocky movies. And he's talking about like his like boxing past, and he's like, I can't remember the exact joke, and I'm probably just butchering it, but basically he's just like, yeah, when I started out, they called me Kid Gorgeous, and then like it just like gets to be like meaner and meaner names. He's just like progressively uglier. It's so good. Or oh my
Yeah.
god, when you find out he was a child actor on The Little Rascals,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
and he like chases down the kid that plays Alfalfa and beats him unconscious. Oh man. Okay, I could go on all day, but yes,
Yeah.
Mo Sizlak, he's the man.
Mo is the man. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah, and I love that he just keeps calling Marge Midge for no reason.
Midge. Hey, Midge.
Yeah.
So silly.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's a good ribbon on our Simpsons gush episode. That
I
that
like it.
show, yeah, I don't know. For me, it's like the legacy is cemented. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't care if they go for like 60 years and we only have like 10 to 12 that we can like genuinely enjoy. I think that's worth it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's yeah.
yeah,
It's a pop culture icon at this point.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Should we move to our final segment of the show?
Let's do it, buddy.
Our what the fandom section. In this section, Khalid, we go around and share one or two things, and in your case, sometimes three things that we're into at the moment that may or may not have anything to do with our monsters in question. Khalid, are you ready?
One sec, I've got some ringing in my ears from that shot you fired.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. I'm gathering my bearings, and they're gathered. Yes.
All right, what the fandom with you, Khalid?
Well, I was gonna do this before, but now like it seems like more like targeted at you. I do. I
You
do
have
have
three.
two.
You have
I
three.
have two. I don't have three.
Okay.
I could come up with three. I do have three.
I have two this time
actually.
too, so it's fine. Do it.
Yeah, Joe. Um, so I have two recommendations. I'm sorry that I want to try and like get all these things I love out there to people who I think would enjoy them also so that they can talk to me about it. But yeah, there are two shows that I had just recently finished. I finished the second season of one and the first season of the other. So I'll start with the one that just like debuted and had its first season. I tweeted about it, Joe. I think you saw. Um, it's this new Netflix show called Mo, which, yeah, if you know anything about Netflix's marketing, it is borderline non-existent. So you just kind of have to like accidentally like stumble across like the like one or two good things they bring out a month on their service. And that's what happened here. I was like, I haven't checked out Netflix in a while. Let's see what's on there. And I saw the trailer for Mo, and it immediately hooked me. And it's so good. It is a show that is created by Rami Youssef, or is it Rami Muhammad? I can't remember. He's the main character of the show on Hulu, Rami, which I'm sure I recommended when I was watching that. But he's one of the creators of this, and then another one of the actors from Rami, Mo Amir, is he's the star and other creator of this show Mo. And so he's playing a fictionalized version of himself as a Palestinian American with. He's basically got like asylum, so he's not a citizen in America, but also he's not a citizen in Palestine where he's from because like he basically like they had to leave the Middle East because of political strife and like his family was like in danger and stuff like that. So they came to America when he was a kid, and he's just literally spent his entire life in like this like citizenship limbo, and that's really like the crux of like a lot of Mo's problems in this show and his family's problems in the show. And it's crazy because like I say all of that and it sounds almost like dramatic or something or like a pseudo foreign film or something the way I'm saying it, but it's like no, this is like a sitcom at its heart, and it does such a good job of like building out its world. It shows you a world that you don't necessarily see that much in TV. I was listening to another podcast that mentioned that this is actually the first sitcom that has ever been filmed in Houston, which was like kind of shocking to me. But it also makes a lot of sense in terms of like how I reacted to it. It was just like it felt so new in a way that I was surprised by, and it's like Rami does a really good job of like shedding light on a Muslim American experience, and this show, which like you would think would just like have a lot of overlap, really doesn't. Like these shows, they may work in conversation with each other, but at no point are they saying the same thing, and it's so fascinating and so exciting to me about what the future of TV holds that like I have like these two shows about like Muslim American men and like the struggles they're going through, and I identify so much with like both of them for such different reasons. And yeah, like I say all that to say that this is a really entertaining show. It's a pretty breezy watch for the first season, and it does a really good job of like just like matching the tone from scene to scene, and like going dramatic and then going hilarious. And I cried like 3 times watching it. It just hit me that strong. So like, do yourselves a favor, go check out Mo. It is so funny. And
Wow.
that one ran a little long, but like I really
No, that's really good.
I feel
I want
really
to check that out.
strong about it. Like I really just like I'm still thinking about it. It's so good. And then my other one, I'll keep it brief, just because I think like the show speaks for itself in terms of like how good it is, and it's on HBO, so I feel like there's a little bit more like when you go to watch House of the Dragon, you're gonna see a trailer for it. So it's called Industry, and it just finished up its second season. As of this recording, I literally just watched the season finale, maybe like 5 minutes before I jumped on this with Joe, and I was just gobsmacked. It's so good. If you're a fan of Succession or any shows about just like really just like bad people, and like every once in a while they try to kid themselves into thinking they're not that bad, or that the people they're around aren't that bad, only to immediately get the rug pulled out from under them, Industry is going to like scratch that itch that like waiting for the next season of Succession is doing for you guys. It's a show about a British like hedge fund company. I don't know. Like it's one of those things where like they say a lot of jargon and it just like washes over me, and I'm really just in it for the interpersonal conflict, which is just so good. The cast is top notch, and it's just like it's weird in how like they're like dealing with like very cynical people without like ever making you feel like the show itself has a cynical view. It really is just as simple as like a question of like, when you're talking about this world of like the only like money talks, and like literally our job is like managing wealth and like creating wealth and moving money around, and the moves that takes and how craven you have to be. This show just does like such a good job of like entering that world and just being like, okay, say you're in this world, say you're good at it, like can you be a good person? Is that even on the table? And it works, and it does it so deftly. And the finale just like such a feather in their cap of like already on such a hot streak that they ended on such a bang. And I'm really looking forward to the next season. So those are my two recommendations. It's Mo and Industry. So
Good ones.
yeah, do yourself a favor, check it out, guys. And with that being said, Joe, what the fandom with you?
Thanks for the wind up there, Khalid.
You know, I took a cue from you there.
I love it. I love it. I also have two. I know every time that I do my What the Fandom, I always say I don't have time to like watch stuff, but I actually got some time to watch stuff recently. So I have a couple things in the book here.
Yay.
The other day, Nicole and I watched the movie On the Count of Three, which I was texting you about, Khalid, which I think you've seen this, right?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, this was a surprising movie for me. I it was on my radar I want to say maybe a year ago or something, when I heard it was just shopping around at film festivals. And I was like, well, I'm excited. I'm a Gerard Carmichael fan. I like the Carmichael show. His stand up, everything is great. So I was excited to see like his directorial debut coming out, and then I kind of forgotten about it until like Hulu just picked it up again, like recently, right? Just recently dropped.
Yeah, I saw it when it was still just like streaming for rent on Amazon Prime.
Oh, that's right. A while ago. Yeah, it must have been a while ago. But yeah, Hulu got it just recently. So now go check it out on Hulu, everybody. But it takes a really basically the story is Gerard Carmichael and his friend, who's played by Christopher Abbott. And I want to say just outside, like the two have really great chemistry in the movie. Like that was really powerful. Like that was electric. Have
you seen Girls? Have you seen the show Girls?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, Christopher Abbott was in the first season. He was probably one of my favorite parts of that first season.
He's really good. He's really good in this too. And they basically they both agree that they're going to end their lives at the end of the day. They're both like depressed. They're going through some really like strong emotional things. They have like trauma in their background, and they're about to commit suicide together. And they're like, wait, it's one more day to do something. And it's kind of about what that day looks like for them, and the emotions that they go through, and the things that they try to process through, and the things that they try to confront about themselves. And I've seen people kind of describe it as like a death obsessed buddy comedy, which in some sense it is, because it follows that road roadmap of a buddy comedy, but I mean, the comedy is very dark and very bleak, but it's there. Like there are funny moments. Like we both laughed several times, but it's also very heavy and very dark at times, and has some like comedians that we'd recommend, like who was in it, like JB Smoove and Henry Winkler play some really dark roles too, which is fascinating to see those actors in those kinds of roles. But what's great about the movie is I feel like it takes this like kind of dark conversation like suicide, depression, and it never treats it in like an exploitative way. I feel like it has this sort of like the reverence and the respect that topic needs, while like showing how people handle this, or how people have conversations about this who are going through it. Like it's not always this like grim, dour thing. They're like, yeah, people are going to make crack jokes. People are going to say dumb stuff, like it's almost one of the more realer depictions I felt of it. So I really appreciated the movie. I would definitely check that out. Again, it is bleak, so maybe not, if you're in the mood for like something light and breezy, don't check it out. But I liked it quite a bit. On the Count of Three on Hulu.
Yeah, no, that's I loved it too. Just chiming in to say that, like, I really do think like between this and like everything else Gerard Carmichael's done, like he's
Mhm.
really like occupying a space that I feel like the only people I can think of that like really like reach that are like very I don't even know the word I'm trying to think of, like idiosyncratic, but that might be wrong. It's like him, Ben Sinclair, and like Donald Glover, and like people like that are just like so just like willing to like have like these like uncomfortable moments in uncomfortable conversations just to like for the hope of like touching on like a truth that we were like afraid to ask.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They're willing to take the stuff that they produce and into some interesting places that I think is really unique, and glad that we have them for it.
Yeah, no, it makes me very hopeful for the future of just like art in general,
Yeah, storytelling and all that. Yeah.
storytelling especially. Yeah.
Um, my others, what the fandom is a little more of a sillier one. I want to say, so if you are one of the people like me who has always had a love for like science fiction and fantasy, especially from the 90s, like those Star Trek eras, the like Babylon 5, the Farscapes, like the stuff like that, with just like lots of crazy make-up aliens, forehead aliens, and all that stuff. Babylon 5 was just trending again today on Twitter, which is a Monday if you're listening to this a couple days prior. I don't know. But Babylon 5 was trending again because the creator, J. Michael Straczynski, is trying to get his reboot picked up. But anyway, that being said, if you're craving that 90s fantasy itch, I found this show that only lasted 7 episodes, and it was playing in that wheelhouse, that 90s era. It's called Mercy Point, and you can only really find it on Crackle. It never was released on DVD, and it was considered failed by all accounts. But I found it and I read about it, and I'm like, I want to watch this. It's ER, but in space with aliens. That's exactly what it is, and it's nothing more, nothing less. Has Joe Morton though, who's great. He's from the Terminator movies as the lead, and he's great in it. But like, it's just doctors. There's like an AI doctor. There are alien doctors, and they're just dealing with like medical drama, interpersonal drama, but on a space station that's in a distant galaxy. Silly at times, but a whole lot of fun if you're looking for something to scratch that like 90s sci-fi itch, and you're looking for kind of a deep cut. I'm enjoying it. I'm about like 4 episodes in. It's really great, like background fodder, kind of like if I'm working or doing something else, like throw that on the background and just be like, I wonder what they're doing with that weird alien operating on that other thing, like what's going on there. It's fun. It's a cool show. I would say it's 7 episodes, so definitely worth it. Maybe if enough people check it out on Crackle, we'll, I don't know, get a article or think piece about it somewhere. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Wow, Joe, you think?
Yeah, maybe.
Really?
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, Mercy Point. Go check it out.
All right. So there you have it, guys. We are just one, I don't know, movement away from a From a think piece? That's really the ball's in your court now, guys.
I might actually write that think piece, Khalid.
Yeah, that makes way more sense than like what I think you're trying to do, which is like enlist an army of fans that somehow gets like another writer's attention. I don't know,
I don't
Joe.
know.
There's
I
a
don't
lot of
know.
steps to that plan.
Yeah.
But I do think the core of what you're trying to say is check it out if that sounded good to you.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
Cool.
Thanks for the save.
Yeah, of course. And on that note, thank you guys for listening to, at least for me, another fun episode of Frankenstein's podcast. Joe, do we know what we're doing next?
I do not know.
Yeah, I also don't know. I like asking you that because like it almost makes it seem like you should know, but like I should know.
Nope. I mean, we'll figure it out.
No, yeah, we always do somehow. So yeah, guys, thank you for listening, and until next time, creep it easy.